Hey everyone,
Hi,
welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee, and it is time. It is time for our monthly modality message. Woohoo!
And,
Happy birthday to the Leos.
and this is our unique astrological tarot reading, which looks at the signs of the zodiac in their modalities, not exactly the same thing as the elemental associations. And so there are three modalities, and a sign from each of the elemental associations, air, fire, water, earth, will be in one modality. And so we read for each modality. There's a fixed modality.
It's Cardinal, fixed, and
Mutable.
mutables.
And I said them in the wrong order, so someone had to correct me.
I don't know if there's any one right order, but you know, we cardinal signs like to be first.
So the cardinals are actually first in our reading.
Yes.
And cardinals?
Cardinals are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Air, water, or fire, water, air, and earth.
So cardinals tend to be originators. They sort of create or bring energy together to coalesce around a goal or a situation or whatever you're doing.
Speaking as one, we bring it. We bring it to the table, and then we expect other people to follow through for us.
But this reading will kind of explain what your energy is for the month ahead.
All right. So I will give the cards to Mr. O in a moment. I like to keep him guessing. Here they are.
Oh, I've lost my intuitive moment. I'm sorry.
Gonna be one of those readings, guys.
Indeed.
So, hope everybody is doing well through these climate extremes we're having.
All right.
Okay, so card number one for the cardinal signs, again, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, is what changes will you initiate this month? And oh my, it's strength reversed.
Boy, that seems familiar. It's the reversed strength, the major arcana number 8 normally.
You know, this is a tough one. I kind of feel, to me, this is indicating cardinal signs that, you know, you have to do what you do best. You may have to use a little bit more force than intended, you know, because maybe the subtle approach has not been working for you.
Well, they say Saturday night's all right for fighting, and you can use a little muscle if it's what you need. So I'm thinking here that that card is saying that don't be afraid of actually having to put a little physical force behind your words or your energy activities, what your thoughts are, what you're trying to do. You might have to just really nudge things along in a little bit more physical manner.
Yeah, I don't want to say get pushy because, you know, you don't want to turn people off.
Not saying
pushy. But be progressive. I mean, keep moving it forward. So how will you nurture and cultivate your goals, desires, or relationships in this period ahead? And that's the Hermit reversed. Interesting. We have two major arcana reversals here.
Well, the Hermit reverse would be saying that maybe we need to be around other people. Maybe we need to take ourselves away from any sense of isolation or not hanging out with people. If we've been aloof a little bit, if we've been shy, we might want to figure out where our role in the public sphere is a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? We may want to You know, I mean, the first part says about changes is, you know, we need to push them, and maybe we need to get other people involved. I mean, I'm not sure here, but it might be, you know, to cultivate your goals, you need to be out there. You need to toot your horn. If you want to cultivate relationships, well, you got to make sure you're on the same page with them, you know? So I feel that this is meaning be out there, get out there, and be a part of the world, not above the world, not isolating yourself from the world, like Mr. O
Well,
suggested here.
I can only speak for one cardinal sign that I know, and it seems to me that sometimes they just really have to be not only the first, but sometimes the only one. And so this card is sort of saying, don't be the only one. Share your ideas. Maybe there's something you can learn from somebody else too, or maybe you just need that feedback.
So how can you gain cooperation or support from others in the month ahead? Good grief. This is the star reverse now.
My goodness, we're having a lot of major arcana here.
And they're reversed, all of them. So, you know, this is a month of work for you guys, you know, for you cardinal signs. And I feel the star reversed indicates to me, well,
it's funny because it's almost a contradiction to the card that preceded it. It's sort of saying, like, don't share your grand designs or fate or destiny.
well, I feel with this one, I'm not so sure. Maybe it's saying that maybe you need to share some of your worries and fears with others, you know, your self-doubts that you're having, because maybe the input of people, you know, from the outside might help you, you know, figure things out.
I guess I took it a little bit more bluntly, but I think you have a good point there, Banshee, that this is really about the vulnerability you express that maybe brings some other feelings in line with you, that people resonate more to the underdog in some respects than somebody who's like, oh, I don't know, big shot astronaut who wants to get somewhere like the moon or Mars or wherever the heck it is.
Astronaut or pseudo?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I spoke a little bit, well, we know.
Maybe I'm speaking more politically. Oops!
Oh,
Sense a possible edit coming.
so
maybe not.
Moving right along.
So finally, how can, okay, the cardinal signs best use the talents and resources? How can your talents and resources best be put to use? Here we go. Our first upright card. It's the Eight of Pentacles. And it's exactly what I was talking about here. With all these reversals, you need to get to work. You need to put your best foot forward and show everybody you're serious about what you're getting involved in, whether it's a relationship, whether it's mending a relationship, whether it's, you know, some business goal or project or work project. You need to show people you mean what you say.
Well, I think it's also about, too, that you need to do the work in terms of if there's a skill you need to brush up on or outright learn. Maybe you need to be hitched up with somebody who's going to teach you or mentor you in a specific way that helps you focus and provide towards those goals you're looking at.
Wow. So do we need to sum up here? Let's sum up for the cardinal signs. This took a little bit here, but basically you're starting off the month with, you know, deciding that maybe you have to push the envelope on some things now. Now is the time to push something to the forefront. Push your agenda forward in some way that doesn't appear, you know, too blunt or too abrasive or too aggressive.
You may have to put a little muscle into it.
Right. And the Hermit reverse says get people involved, get people on your side. You know, maybe just don't be aloof and above everybody else. Work together. Tell people you need their help and assistance and you appreciate it.
Right. No man or woman is an island, and maybe it's really about, you know, taking a peek out of the cave and seeing that there are others who can give you what you want, but maybe you can give them something that they need too.
And as Mr. O so adequately stated here, you know, this show your vulnerabilities, show your vulnerable side to others if you want to gain support. Let them know you don't have all the answers and you would appreciate their input or help.
Underdog, underdog.
And ultimately, get to work yourself. Don't expect everybody else to do it for you. You know, you need to be out there showing you mean business.
And do the work. If you need to learn something new, if you need to brush up on skills, you need to find the right persons to help you with that too.
That's what we have for the cardinal signs for the Leo season.
So that means we are now moving on to the fixed signs.
Indeed. Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. This is for you.
And fixed signs tend to hold the energies and sort of monitor them and keep them in a sense of regulation. They don't necessarily institute big changes. They may do minor tweaks, but they're basically there to kind of protect it and watch it move along towards whatever its actual goal or fruition should be. I just used
You will shuffle
a big
first
word.
next time.
Fruition.
Is that all you got? No, I know you could have more obtuse words than fruition.
Well, I said it was a big word. I didn't say it was
That's
obtuse.
true. That's true. And that is not.
Maybe it would be obtuseful to say growthful enterprise.
Don't mess my cards, Mr. O.
Don't sing song to Mr. O unless you can go up and down
it was my
the
bad. Sorry.
scales like me.
Lordy. All right. Our first cards for the fixed signs, and again, that is for Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. So, what are the qualities you need to display in order to make a positive impression on others? Go ahead, Mr. O.
Well, I think you're in the kind of climate, maybe you don't realize it, but where somebody really expects you to kind of present a certain standard or uphold to certain standards. So there may be certain things that are not that are frowned upon, just as there are certain things that are expected. And so there's a sense of maybe conforming to a particular situation, doing things in an orderly fashion.
And we're starting out again with another major arcana card. It's upright, and it's Taurus, which is one of the fixed signs. Do you notice that on there?
How curious.
How curious. And of course, the Hierophant is a very fixed figure, you know, very much set in their ways. So I really feel here the qualities you need to display are to, you know, show your
You're part of the natural order.
show your stability, show the fact that you just don't come up with fly-by-night ideas, that you have that you are very, not conforming,
Grounded in protocol.
Yes, thank you. Grounded. You have ethics, you have standards, and you
Procedural.
live by them. You live by those procedures and that. It's not that you're unwilling to change, but it's that you have, you know, put things in place that you can count on to work for you.
All right. So card 2.
What can you share with others or allow others to share with you in the month ahead? Well, it's another major arcana card. How is this happening?
Maybe it's only the gossip that should be shared. The moon can sometimes refer to secrets or gossip, scandalous things. So maybe this is saying be circumspect, really, when you hear things that are maybe emotionally charged in one way or the other. Again, the moon. Maybe you don't necessarily share them to just anyone.
Well, oh, Scorpio fixed sign. You ought to know all about that gossip.
I thought you were going to disagree with me.
No. So, I mean, I guess it is that. Or maybe what you can share with others or allow them to share with you is any kind of gut feelings that they have about things, you know?
Intuitions.
If you have, like, if there's something that comes up and you just have a feeling, you know, share it. Don't just sit on it, share it. And likewise, if people have some doubts or recriminations or they feel like, you know, there's something on their mind or in their heart, have them come out with it.
And it may be that there are some secrets that do need to be shared that you know about or that others know about, and that maybe their outcome to you is something you should know because maybe it advances the general narrative in your life. Maybe it's something you really need to find out about.
So what role will your connections or the connections that you make play in this cycle ahead? I'm just freaking out here. We have the world up right now. Now, mind you, in the Cardinal side reading, our first 3 cards were Major Arcana cards reversed. The first 3 cards here are Major Arcana cards upright.
Okay.
So you obviously are going to have a slightly easier but kind of a heady month, fixed signs. So the world is indicating to me here, what role can they play? I think they can play an integral part in your success or failure in this month ahead. Mostly, I think, in charging you forward towards success, you know, if you play your cards right.
I see this card and I think, Jingo, you just hit the jackpot, to quote a famous comic book character. And that idea is that really there's almost nothing that can't be accomplished with these kind of energies that you're involved with here. That there's some really downright wholesome energies that are just providing structural stability and change and really advancing things forward.
Would it be safe to say that the world, that the fixed signs connections will mean the world to them this month?
I feel the earth move.
No, I didn't want you
under
to
my
sing.
feet.
I want you to sing. I wanted you to fist bump and say, "Bam, Banshee."
Bingo, bam, Banshee. Say that 3 times real fast.
No.
You don't get a prize.
So, how will you be able to achieve a balance between work and pleasure in this month ahead? Can't have all work and no pleasure, but guess what? It's another major arcana, so you broke the mold, and
Holy
it too
buttholes.
is upright. And it's beginning to make me think, do I have a full deck here? Of course I do. So I think that basically how you can achieve a balance between work and pleasure is, well, how you manage yourself. You know, it's all on you. I mean, you could just be that workaholic, or you can be that person who decides I'm devoting this much time to work and this much time to pleasure, and like you make the rules, okay? Because you're the emperor and you rule.
It's probably more appropriate to say that the emperor is the kind of person who rules others, and so therefore this is talking about you being able to delegate, that there are just some things that really you don't need to be physically working with it or even mentally bothering with the details. You should just have it set up so that somebody else, it's their job or responsibility to support you by doing that. And of course, that sounds kind of straight and narrow, but you know, you can adapt that to the various circumstances of your life. Maybe there's a way you can trade off certain things with work partners or with other sorts of partners too.
So let's recap for our friends, the fixed signs.
Alrighty.
So basically, we started off with that Taurus card there as he bumps the camera. What the qualities you need to display this month are one of stability, of structure, that, you know, you are building something here lasting, and also that, you know, you have morals and standards that you live by. Show people, you know, the positive ethical side of yourself.
Maybe it's a new world order.
Maybe. So what can you share with others? Allow them to share with you. I would say your intuitive flashes, you know, and vice versa. If anybody feels like, you know, you can tell sometimes people just want to say something, but they're afraid to, you know. See if you can't coax it out of them, you know. They're people in their gut feelings, or your own even for that matter. Don't hesitate to share them.
If it's gossip, the answer is probably almost always no. But if it's about secrets and deceptions, weigh that carefully. Maybe it is something that will help somebody if the right person knows, but you don't want to share it too liberally.
And the role your connections or the connections you make will play, well, holy moly, you know, I think they can help you achieve success this month. But, you know, it's up to you, you know, to work those connections and make it happen.
It's like the New World Order again. Bam.
And ultimately, the best way to achieve a balance between work and pleasure is, hey, you run the show, you make the rules, you decide how much work you want to do and how much you want to sit back and enjoy life. So if you're thinking of scheduling that vacation time, why not do it?
And don't be afraid of telling others what they should be doing, if in fact they should be doing that.
So, major arcana palooza here, and all upright. So this is going to be a very important time for you, Leo season fixed signs. So good luck with that.
Interesting.
Indeed. We're moving on to our finals, and that's going to be the mutable signs, which of course are Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo.
All right. And we thank you for watching our modality message. We do think it is an interesting, unique reading for astrology tarot combinations. So if you like it, check out more of our other stuff too. We're also going to be doing
and please
some
share with others.
Yes, share. We're going to be doing some reviews of some new card sets, as well as a few other extra features. Because guess what? We're approaching our 2nd anniversary, moving into our 3rd year.
Woohoo!
More about that in a minute.
Maybe.
Maybe. I thought I was the secretive one.
You know me. But you already read my mind because I was going to sneak that in at the end. And I'll say, he thinks I'm just talking
I read your mind. Why would that be a surprise?
It's not really, but I was hoping to slip that one by you.
Well, there's a lot of things you slip by me, but that's not necessarily one of them.
Bam, Mr. O. Bam on that one.
Yeah, so watch the silly but engaging couple and see what they're up to next.
And speaking of which, there's an important anniversary coming up this year.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
More on that later. Okay, so mutables. How will you need to shift your perspective during this cycle, this Leo season?
10 of Cups, reversed.
You are the first one in the group to not get a major arcana card, but unfortunately it's the 10 of Cups reversed. So I'll tell you what, the way you need to shift your perspective is to stop. You know, I don't know if some of you have been having some issues on the home front, you know, in particular with family, whether it's your, you know, your nuclear family, you know, or your broader family, your family of friends. There seems to be some bickering and trouble. And so I think you need to shift your perspective on, instead of enhancing the conflict, how to mend and heal the conflict.
Scorpio again.
Uh-oh.
You're a mutable sign. You should probably be used to the idea that maybe your emotional life and or your home life as it pertains to that does flux a bit. Maybe no more than other people's, but maybe it affects you a little bit more due to the mutual modality that works it for you. So it could very well be that these are things that do happen often enough in the cycle, and you just need to sort of ride them out and or learn from them, learn to where you can kind of apply different energies.
How are others' emotions affecting you in this month ahead? Well, I think you need people. You know, basically, I feel that despite whatever this problem is with the 10 of Cups, you're in a very celebratory mood. You want to party, you know, and celebrate rather than fight, which might serve you well, all things considered.
So when I put them together, it may be possible that even if there are some emotional hiccups going on right now in your overall environment, there's also this need really to come together and celebrate. Maybe there's also the idea that something important, a wedding, a ceremony of some importance, graduation time, things like that, is coming up. And you really want to be able to be a part of that.
I'll say this. I feel they might connect here, and maybe not necessarily in a healthy way, because maybe the deal is that you need to shift your perspective from fighting and arguments with family to be able to attend some wedding or celebration. This might indicate, because emotions from others, it seems like it's coming from others, like somebody is wanting to celebrate something, but yet there has been some conflicts. And so we need to get over that so that we can, properly honor this.
So we're going back to that idea, I guess, that I had, that the
Yeah.
neutral signs really are having, in this next period, this next month or so, some issues maybe of emotional duress within their lives, and they need to work on that.
What do you need to know or find out to better position yourselves for success, mutables? Okay, so it's the Fool reversed. How about this? What you need to know for the month ahead is it's not a good time to engage in risky behavior, things that could get you into trouble, with others in particular, because obviously emotions are running high here. So no infidelities, no things that would upset the apple cart. I just use that as an example. But also the fact is, don't be so willing to take that step off the ledge without really thinking of the ramifications and consequences on others first.
You need some gut checks, and it's possible too that maybe the full reverse could be saying that there are some other influences that you need to maybe look at again. Sometimes we think that little doggy, that's our instinct, always knows exactly what's right, but maybe it's somebody else's doggy, and maybe that doggy is only thinking of their master, their mistress, something that's better for their side of the equation.
So what kind of adjustments will you need to make this month in order to be more effective and achieve success? Nine of Swords reversed.
Nine of Swords reversed.
So basically, again, if there are any fears or anxieties, that you have, and I feel that's really tying into that Ten of Cups card there strongly.
Yes.
You need to let them go. This is a time to let them go and recognize them for what they are. Just those voices in your head, not reality.
It may be that some of these intrigues that we've alluded to, or these hiccups that I call them, are in fact things that really are more peripheral to you than you might have thought. Maybe you do know that, but maybe you're taking somebody else's side. You're a spirit carrier for somebody else. Or maybe you feel you should be more involved. But maybe you have to examine that. Maybe you have to really also feel where you can add the positivity, because that's what I think the Three of Cups wanted us to consider too.
Well, let's try to recap this again for our mutable sign friends. So basically, how will you need to shift your perspective during this cycle? How about from anger or bitterness related to family, or maybe even, some things from past relationships, whatever baggage, that you're carrying on between people. How about letting it go, or trying to find a way now to live and let live, or mend those fences?
Right. Love will always find a way, but you do have to give it a chance.
And how will others' emotions affect you? Well, they're in such a celebratory mood. Either there's weddings or birth announcements or something going on that's very, very happy. I think it will affect you. Maybe it will bring you to this point of recognizing that it is time to let some things go.
Others really do want to bring you out and really want you to enjoy a mutual happiness.
So needless to say, what you need to know to better find out to position yourself for success is that this is not a time to take unnecessary risks or engage in any risky behavior or any risky thought or action that could make matters worse instead of better.
You know, in some ways, the reverse Fool almost seems like Mercury retrograde, but we know that's not what's going on. It really is, I think, about you really second-guessing a lot of things that are causing these conflicts.
Yeah, and ultimately, the adjustments you need to make this month to be more effective and achieve success is to basically stop listening to the voices in your head and really look clearly at what's out there. A lot of the things you fear and doubt or maybe are resentful about may not be the actual reality. And I think that ultimately, because that 9 is reversed, you're starting to see that now. Maybe that's the point, is you'll become more successful because you start to see that, you know, your own fears and self-doubts have been causing and creating some of this problem.
Even if you have a resonance or connection, you can't be the social worker or the policeman for all of your friends or all of your family. Sometimes you just gotta let them work it out for themselves too.
So we hope this reading resonated with everybody and you all got something out of it. And now I just want to remind people that we will be, you know, doing our live streams as normal twice weekly, Sundays 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course on Thursdays 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our happy hour is popping up this month. You never know where you'll find it, but if you subscribe to Twitter and Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications, you'll know when to see our happy hour. Don't forget also about my Material Matters show, which is on every Sunday at 10 a.m. I'm always in the chat greeting people as it premieres that morning, so be there. And finally, don't forget about Mr. O's shows. His Emotional Exchanges show is every Friday morning, and every Wednesday is Goth Tarot.
Indeed.
Anything you'd like to add, Mr. O?
No, I'm just so proud to be
I thought
here.
you were going to talk about the anniversary show coming up.
Yeah, we're going to give a retrospective. At least one of our specials will be about this last year.
We'll be summing up all of our prediction videos that we made in one to see where we're at, how we did, you know, the good and the bad. And, you know, maybe we'll just throw a little snapshot about what's coming forward. You never know.
Alrighty then.
So that's it for now, and we'll see you again for another monthly modality message when the sun goes into Virgo, the sign of Virgo. So take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.